All right, guys, here we are, week 6. We are starting week 6. It is day 26, and we are ready to get started. Hopefully, you've already written your essay, and now it's just time to do some editing, double checking your citations, and getting your bibliography completed. So let's go ahead and get started first with just doing our editing first. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and present. All right, so what we're going to be doing is editing our essay, okay? So we will edit essays, and I'll show you how to do that. There's several steps to this, so please don't skip a step. So let's get this editing started. Editing is one of the most important steps in essay writing. And our big concept here is that your audience, which is usually your teacher or your professor, can determine a whole lot from your writing. So let's make sure what they can determine is all positive. So the first thing we're going to talk about is spelling and grammar. So misspelled words and confusing sentences will distract your reader from the content of your essay. Were you writing about a college? Who knows? Because if there's too many errors, the person reading it kind of gets lost in what you're trying to say. So the easiest way to check your spelling in a Google Doc is to go to the toolbar, click on Tools. So if you look over here, we've got the toolbar, and then you click on Tools, and then you're going to click on Spelling and Grammar, and this little side menu will pop up. And then you're going to go ahead and click on spelling and grammar check. Make sure that there's 2 check marks here before you click that. If not, you need to click both of these and then click spelling and grammar. And then what's going to happen is every time it comes across something it doesn't understand, it will bring up a suggestion. So change mountholyoke.edu to mount-holyoke.edu. You can either ignore or accept it. Remember that spell check is just a machine, and I'll go over that in a minute. Also, I'm sorry, go ahead and keep doing that until it says spelling and grammar document looks good. So it needs to say spelling and grammar document looks good. So hopefully I can show you that right here. Document looks good. Then that means the grammar or the spell check and the grammar check are done. Okay, so here's some other ways that you can get a good spelling and grammar check. Maybe you can ask a parent or an older sibling to check it for you, just to read it over. Do not share your essay with anyone from your class, please. You are not to share, click share and save, or give out your password to anybody, please. Only somebody, if you have somebody available to do that. If not, it's okay. Just run the spell check and then read it over again. And here we go again. Read it. Read it, reread it yourself carefully. Make sure all errors were caught and that you changed them, you fixed them. Remember that spell check and grammar check are computer programs. They can only check for certain programmable errors. So if you have a word that might be spelled correctly, but it's the wrong use of the word, it's not going to know that. Your audience will really appreciate this, and your score will be better because you have a whole row in your rubric that talks about spelling and grammar. Word choice. So are you using domain-specific word? Are your words about your topic? So our topic is college. So hopefully you've used some words like you didn't say, oh yeah, the place kids stay or sleep, it's a dorm. So you have to use that actual word dorm, and it's short for the word dormitory. If you go back to the resources in ELA, you will notice that there's a vocabulary list, and I'll get to that in just a second. Here it is at the bottom, the vocabulary of college, and I think it's like 4 pages of different words that count as domain-specific words. So education words are important. You can look at the vocabulary of college document that's in the resources section of ELA. Make sure you're using domain-specific words about college, and don't use words like things or stuff. Be sure you're using the words correctly. If you don't understand what they mean, please don't use them. Formatting. Does your essay look correctly formatted? Are all the paragraphs in the same font? Are the pictures in the right place, and are they not too far out over the margin? So double check your headings. Are all of your headings in the same font and the same size and the same color? If you used my template correctly that I gave to you, and you just clicked and drag over the heading and type your heading title, you should have no problem. Your paragraphs, are all of your paragraphs in the same font and the same size? You need to make sure you didn't, that if you copied and pasted something, well, you're not supposed to really copy and paste, but if you did, you have to have it cited properly, but you also have to have it in the same font. So click and drag and go up and make sure it matches the font. And by the way, for those of you who are familiar with fonts, you can only change your font to Arial, Times New Roman, or the one that it comes with. It's already in the template that I gave you to use. Your size may only be 11 or 12 font, no bigger, except for the headings and the title, which can be slightly bigger, but no more than like 14, 16, 18, no bigger. Okay, now, hopefully that helped you. You're ready to move on to the next step, which is going to be bibliography. But before I do that, I do want to say thank you. And if you have any questions, go ahead and message me on Remind or in Google Classroom, or join the Google Meets Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's all on Remind, and it's also here somewhere in our little what do you call it? In Google Classroom, it's in there. So, okay, so let me just show you how this works, by the way. So here I am with my sample Mount Holyoke College essay, and I'm going to go up to Tools, Spelling and Grammar, and both of my little show spelling suggestions, so grammar suggestions, those are checked. I'm going to click spelling and grammar check, and then what it's going to do is it's going to go down and it's going to look at things in my essay. Now it says change makes little to makes it a little. Well, let me see. I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to look. It says MHC is a private university, which means it's not funded by the state, which makes little higher priced. Ooh, that didn't sound right. Makes it a little higher priced. That's correct. So I'm going to click accept, and you're going to notice that it changes everything here. All right, and now it's saying change BROARD to board. Well, let me scroll down here. Room and, oh yeah, it's supposed to be room and board. I am going to accept that change. Oh, the word freshman. Oh, freshman is not spelled with an I. So when I scroll down a little, I'm going to notice I did spell it wrong. This is the correct spelling. I'm going to accept the suggestion. And now it says that the document looks good. Now, I am going to tell you that sometimes it does not pick up a situation where we have an error. For example, if you have a run-on sentence, it may not catch it. So you have to be really careful about that and make sure that you're looking for any kind of run-on sentences. So if you have the word and over again multiple times, it's going to be a problem. I am going to go ahead and post this as a sample so that you have it. You are not to copy my sentence frames. You are not to copy it at all. But when you're finished, if you want to compare it and just look at what I've done here and how I've worded things, you're more than welcome to do that. And next, we're going to talk about the bibliography. All right, hopefully, if you have any questions, you're going to get them to me. And, we'll see you on the next video.